he's a great friend. He gives you a lot of good information. Why don't we all give a hand clap to Lynn Walter?
Doesn't Eric do a great job? Yeah. Let's give him a round of applause. Is everyone ready to hear a fabulous speaker this morning?
Yeah!
Absolutely. I have had the pleasure of knowing our speaker for about the past 6 years through San Jose Toastmasters. And let me tell you, she is a leader. Over a period of a couple of years, she's responsible for putting systems in place to triple the size of our club. Not only that, she has gotten members to have written down goals and then has helped them achieve their goals so they can take their speaking skills to the next level. She's one of the best presidents that San Jose Toastmasters has ever had, and I've witnessed about 30 years worth. She's not a shy lady. I remember the first speech she ever gave in San Jose Toastmasters, her icebreaker speech. I've never seen an introduction like this before, but for about the first 45 seconds, she broke into song from the musical Hairspray. Then she gave a very unique speech called The Scotologist. What is a Scotologist? Well, her husband is named Scott, and she was the world's foremost expert in everything Scott. Not only is she a successful thinker, but she's also an independent speaker. Independent thinker. Oddly enough, Scott, who is a power engineer at Apple, hasn't gotten her to upgrade to a Mac yet. But, you know, we're working on that.
Scott's her husband, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
She has a background in HR, has a master's in that, and today she is working as a career transition specialist. How many of you want to be the very best you can be? Well, let's give a warm welcome this morning to Josephine Hanan speaking on branding to be your best.
My name is Josephine Hanan, but you can call me Jose. Welcome to your Brand Yourself as the Best training. Now, how many of you have really great products and services? Great. And how many of you don't? I just want to see if anyone's listening. The even better question is, how many of you want to get known for your greatness? Then you are in the right place. Thank you to Len and Eric and Elias for encouraging me to speak today. And thanks to all of you for being here. What I love about Successful Fingers is that every week we not only build great business relationships, but we also build on each other's knowledge. Last week, my favorite action coach, Jeff Knott, asked us a question. He said, "Who are you?" This week, I'm building on what Jeff told us. I'm asking you, how do you get known for who you are? Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever." My question to you is, how do you and your business get the glory that you deserve? How do you step out of the shadows of your competition and step into the spotlight? The answer is that you need to understand why people want to work
Trust!
Trust! Abso-freaking-lutely. That's right. But the question is, what does that mean exactly? How do you get people to know, like, and trust you even more concretely? This is the million-dollar question, and it's the question that I spend hours and hours and hours coaching my clients on. Now, today I only have so much time with you, so I can only talk about the best branding principles from a very high level. However, what I'm offering you is a free Brand Yourself as the Best recording so that you can then, after this training, go and customize your own plan for your individual needs. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. I'll tell you more about it at the end. Now let's get to the content. So ask me, Jose, how do we get to be known?
Jose, how do we get to be known?
Fantastic question. I'm surprised you asked. The way you get to be known is by asking yourself 3 questions. And what I would really like to do is have us pass out the handout. So Kenny, can I ask you to pass out one, and then Eric's going to pass out the other? And if anybody needs a pen, raise your hand, and Manage, the woman who's in the pink shirt, is going to come give you a pen, okay? The 3 questions that you need to ask yourself are questions that I first want you to answer as an individual, and then answer these questions as a business. So how do you get yourself known, and then how do you get your business known? The first question is, what are you known for? In other words, when somebody says Fritz's name, what's the first thing that people think about Fritz? Is it how he's a snappy dresser?
He's pretty cool.
Is it that he's pretty cool? Is it his communication skills? Is it how he interacts with customers? Or do they say, Fritz? Fritz who? I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. For you can't get where you're going as a brand if you don't know where you're starting from. Okay? The second question is, what aren't you known for? What I want you to do is make a list of all those things that you are best in class at, but the world doesn't know you for them yet. I'm going to give you an example. I'm friends with somebody named Pierre, and he is the owner of Postnet. Postnet is a printing shop, and what he does for his clients and his customers is that he puts out a brochure, and the brochure is called, I Didn't Know You Did That. I Didn't Know You Did That. Now, I thought Pierre, being a printing shop, only made copies. Then I look at this brochure, and what do I see? He also does photo quilting. I immediately order a photo quilt for my grandpa who's in his 90s. My question to you is, what don't your customers know about you that's costing you sales? What don't your customers know about you that is hurting your repeat business? And what don't your power partners know about you that's costing you referrals? The final question is, what do you want to be known for? Have a big 3. Personally, I want to be known for putting on great trainings. I want to be known for helping people get results that they didn't even think were possible. And I want to be known for starting a community of professionals who won't settle for anything less than the very best. What are your big 3? Now let's talk about getting liked. When I say getting liked, I want you to think comprehensively. I want you to think about how people like you in terms of being a partner to them, in terms of being a customer having them as your customer. Also think in terms of people who are your colleagues or even your employees. What do they like and not like about you? And what I'm going to ask you to do is something real difficult, and that's called put yourself in their shoes. Ask yourself first, what do people like about working with me if I were them? Then on the flip side, ask yourself, why wouldn't I want to work with me? Yeah, I have no idea. You have no idea. I'm sure other people can definitely help you out too if you don't know.
Oh yeah.
But what you want to do is you want to look for patterns, okay? And you want to do more of what people like about you intentionally. And then you want to look for what people don't like about you or what you don't like about yourself, and you want to stop it. Don't let yourself off the hook. This is costing you money and business. Stop it. Psychological research has shown that people like people who are like them. Now that's a lot of liking. The point here is that the more you can show people you're going to work with that you're like them, that you get them, the more likely they are to work with you. The more I can show people that I am a speaker, I know about communication, I am a leader, I've done XYZ position, the more likely leaders and people who want to be speakers are going to communicate with me. So I want you to think for your business. What does it mean for you to be like your customers? And what I want you to do is take 1 full minute and write down how you are like them. Go ahead and do that now. Start wrapping up, and you can continue writing as I'm talking, but we're going to need to keep going. And what I recommend that you do is you go back to this plan that you're building right now and review it after the training. Alright, so the next question is, how do you get trusted? Do you know what trust starts with? It starts with belief in who? Yourself, absolutely. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, self-trust is the first secret of success. For if you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your products, how are people going to trust you? Now, some of you might think to yourself, well, I know the right way to frame it. But you know what? No matter how well you frame it, it's going to be obvious that you don't believe in yourself or your products. It's going to come across in your wording, your confidence, your body language, and your eye contact. So what I want you to do is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you absolutely believe, and 1 being you don't believe, write down how much you genuinely believe in what you're selling. And you don't have to show it to anybody. You can even change your answer later. But be really honest with yourself. This is so important. The other thing I want you to rate yourself on is how much do you believe that you are the best person to sell your product or services? The question then becomes, how do you take yourself to that next level? How do you believe in yourself even more, even if you are a 10? Write this down. Your belief in yourself is directly proportional to your success. Your belief in yourself is directly proportional to your success. That's my $1 million tip for today. Alright, so once you understand why people would want to work with you, let's talk about transitioning people into your raving fans. Now, how many of you want raving fans?
Yeah.
Woo! Me too. Now, what you need to remember is that before your customers will be raving fans of you, you need to be a raving fan for yourself and for your customers. Exactly. Now people say, well, Joes, come on, I care about my customers. What I say to them is, I don't care what you say, and neither do your customers. You know what they care about? They care what you do. So you don't say it, show it to them. Here's 2 ways you can show your customers that you care, that you're their fan. One way is by constantly asking yourself, how can I take my customer's experience to the next level? If you don't know, ask them. If you do know, ask them. Why? Because your assumptions might not be correct, and you might be missing out on a $1 million idea. Who knows your customers better than your customers? So survey them, and when you survey them, it shows them that you care about their opinions. The catch, though, is you actually have to take their feedback. Otherwise, they just see it as lip service, and you will waste everyone's time. The second way that you show that you're a fan is by showing them that you've heard them, that you know what's of interest and importance to your customers. Some ways you can do that is by remembering their birthday, sending them a card, sending them an anniversary card, sending them articles about their profession. What I do is when somebody gets hired, they get promoted, they get recognized as leaders in their businesses or communities, I send them a congratulations card. I want to show them that I'm celebrating their win too, and I'm there for them. What can you do? And go ahead and make a list of all those things. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to take your paper and I want you to put it really close to your nose. Now, why am I asking you to do this? Because it makes me laugh. No. The reason I'm doing this is because I want you to see how much can you read of your paper when it's this close to your nose? Nothing. None! If you can't read anything, right? This represents your branding and your business. Sometimes we are so close to our business. It's our baby. It's our branding. That, you know what? We can't even see what's in front of our face. Our face, our nose, right? That's why I highly recommend that you get an outside opinion. Don't just get one, get multiple outside opinions. I call this your support team. I recommend that there's 3 key players on your support team. One is a mentor. A mentor is somebody who's doing what you want to be doing 5 years down the line and they are successful. The biggest mistake that I see people make is that they choose a mentor based on experience. Don't do it. Or they choose a mentor based on credentials. Don't do it. Choose a mentor based on success. And also choose a mentor based on if you could see yourself being like that person 5 years from now. The second person you need on your team are power partners, and that's everybody in this room. Your power partners are people that are going to be your salespeople when you're not promoting yourself and vice versa. Now, what I recommend that you do in your one-on-ones is, in addition to asking, how can I move your business forward, also ask, how can we move our businesses forward together? You will find all these synergies that you never even thought of. I met with Kenny and we realized we had a lot in common. Kenny's a phenomenal speaker and we were talking about putting on events together. So think about the synergies, those strategic alliance, a double win with one punch. Okay?
I'd love to see that. That would be awesome. You and Kenny speaking together. What do you think about that?
Fellow Toastmaster. Fantastic. Now the third person you absolutely need on your team is a coach. I was reading in Harvard Business Review that America's most admired companies, from GE all the way down coaching. In fact, they spend $1 billion in coaching annually. I say, how can we compete with that? How can we steal their best practices and get big ourselves and be successful? You can't do it by yourself. Now, I talk to small businesses, and what they tell me is, Jose, I can't afford coaching. I say, well, how can't you afford it? Out of all people, I get it. Small businesses juggle more balls than anybody else. And if anyone's going to miss something after being their own IT department, sales department, accounting department, products department, services department, guess who it is? Small business people. So get yourself the support you need. And the one tip I'll give you is, I don't just talk my talk, I walk my talk. I've always had coaches, and I attribute them directly to the success that I am today. And when you're hiring a coach, this is a question you always want to ask. Do you, as a coach, have a coach? It's like asking a dentist, do you have a dentist? If they say no, I hired a dentist years ago, and now I just work on my own teeth. Go get another coach. Finally, let's talk about how you can make money and make a difference. This is not mutually exclusive here. One of the best ways to show that you're a fan of your customers and the community that supports you is by giving back. It's by paying it forward. The world needs you. Your community needs you. Thousands of nonprofits need you. And when I say they need you, they don't need you 5 years from now. They don't need you when you're financially free. They don't need you when you're less busy. They need you right now. This is the question to ask yourself. How can you make a difference through your business, not at the expense of your business? What I do is that I'm committed to aligning my career leadership coaching business with helping provide funding for the employment of people with disabilities. Agencies are closing like crazy, and they need our funding. What I tell people is that if you give me a referral, I'll either give you 10% or I'll let you apply that 10% to the employment of people with disabilities, which is aligned with career coaching. So think of what that can mean for you. In terms of time, I volunteer to help youth at risk to figure out what's possible for their careers and become leaders of tomorrow. So think about what can you do to make a difference through your business and your professional skills. And then you're going to go back and answer that question, okay? And don't be limited by your headcount. It's not the number of people that are helping you make a difference. It's the difference over time that adds up to big results. Always remember that. Small things over time add up to big results. So take on the world. You can do it. Now, once again, if you are interested in learning more about creating your own branding plan, all you need to do is fill out the feedback form. And on question number 5, you can put your first name and your email, and I will email you a copy. Also, let me know if you want to do a one-on-one with me. I love doing tea. I also love walking and talking. I say, why do you have to choose exercise or networking? Choose both. So let me know if you want to walk with me and talk with me as well. Okay, so now we're into the Q&A section. Does anybody have any questions? What's the best referral for me?
I'll tell you in a
The best referral for me are people who are leaders in their companies and their organizations. Because what I do is I help people strategize as a leader, take their communication and their teams to the next level and brand themselves. Okay? Any questions over here?
What he meant to say was, how can I help you move your business forward?
Leslie.
Yeah! Woo! Leslie Lang in the house!
I love your energy, Leslie. You are awesome. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, do you have niche markets, or do you work across the board? Do you work with
do I have a favorite? It's like, do I have a favorite child, right? I'm not going to tell my secrets. Any other questions?
What's your favorite book?
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Well, even book of the moment.
My favorite book is, I'm going to have to go with one that Ron also likes. It's Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
Ooh.
T. Harv Eker, because he's the king of thinking bigger and developing people into the next generation of millionaires and billionaires. Okay, Kenny?
In terms of soliciting feedback from your clients, for you, what have you found to be the most successful way of doing that? Like a questionnaire, you sit down with them one-on-one in a group? How do you like to do that?
That's a great question. I think the best thing to do in terms of getting feedback is using multiple vehicles. So it depends on the person. Some people are more receptive to sitting down with you and giving you in-person feedback. Some people have even given me in-person testimonials on video. Other people, they want to be anonymous, and I send them a Survey Monkey survey. Survey Monkey is free, and you can get up to 100 people. So tailor your surveys to your market. And the other thing, though, is pay attention to what you're sending your customers. If you're only sending them things to buy from you in surveys, they're probably going to say, take me off your list. So just like you're providing value to all your networking partners, provide value and content to your customers. And that's what's going to keep them reading your email and doing your surveys. Okay?
One more question.
Last question.
Anyone?
How much do you charge?
We shouldn't really discuss that at this time.
No.
That's the one-on-one issue.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That's okay. No worries. That's your first time. You can see Josephine afterwards.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know. Don't mind.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sounds good. So, thank you everybody for those really great questions. I wish I had time to sit down with you one-on-one and talk to you even more, and I'm sure that we will have that opportunity. Just let me know. And please fill out my feedback form, because I take your feedback very seriously, and it's the only way for me to grow and to continue providing even more value to future audiences.
All right.
Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Always remember that your reputation precedes you. So pay careful attention to what people are saying about you, and be intentional about what you want them to say about you. Never stop branding yourself as the best. Fantastic.